Nou, wat doen?
Veilig chatten voor iedereen, dankzij moderators. Zo maak je een live chat leuk voor jou en je kijkers. Kies wie kan deelnemen. I think it's all. Check the live stream for a moment because it said something about moderating and stuff like that. So I don't know if it really came true.
Mijn back screen.
That actually you supposed to.
Je ook zwart scherm?
Zwart. No, they say loud and clear. Shalom, Mark.
Ja, ik weet het. En dat is mijn phone. Iets te replacement. Everywhere.
Je kan mijn telefoon.
Samsung S20.
68.
Niet op 68. Alleen als het 144 euro kost, was geen moment.
Ja, het is wel voor die. Dat ga je niet, daarvoor ga je gewoon deze format niet krijgen. Yeah, man. Hey, Shalom. This is GMS Holland coming back to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, before we start off, hey, this thing is crooked. Yeah, man. And the autism kicks in if it's not working straight. Before we start off, we want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect out there, that spreading this word of sincerity and the truth all over the four corners of the earth. Gone. So we once again out here in the highways and byways, preaching the word for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know, we speaking His words. We're not speaking our own words, but we speaking the words of the Most High. What we supposed to do. Okay. Now, you know, wars is rousing up, and you know, we still in a time of war. Man, give me Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. Give me a precept.
This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, man. So the Most High says, speak the words of prophecy that the Heavenly Father is gonna put in our mouths. That's what we gotta speak. Okay, we receive the scriptures, and those scriptures we gotta utter out in the highways and byways and speak it unto the people, man. Warn the people from the destruction that is to come, man. You see? Warn the people for what is about to come upon this earth. Because it ain't nothing nice, man. The scriptures speak about that darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. Okay? Put that on there. What you got?
This is Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Yeah, man. So to everything, you said Ezekiel. Funny.
Oh, because I was looking for...
Yeah, you was looking for something in Ezekiel. Read it again. Read it again. Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Yeah, man. So to everything there is a season. Man. Nothing happens according to when you want, but there is divine intervention. Okay, divine intervention means that a higher power decides what goes, what comes, what stops, what starts. You know, everything is decided by the Most High. Give me 1 Samuel chapter 2, around the 16th verse, I believe. You know, the Most High decides what comes and what goes. Okay, it's not up to you to decide when certain events come. That's why the scripture says that we got to wait upon the Lord, man. Even Yahushua said, it's on my Father when it's all of my Father when His kingdom shall come. Okay, we just got to put up our prayers, man. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. So the structure and the beauty and the order that is in heaven will be done upon the earth. So that's why it's called the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is gonna be upon this earth, man. Okay? And everything is gonna be in order, man. Well structured. Because it's not structured right now, man. Okay, this society ain't structured. Even if you look at the parliament over here, if you look at the ruling government, the ruling how you call them motherfuckers? The second chamber of Holland. That's where they they debate and shit like that. They have mad fights over there, man. Holland ain't that bad, but if you look at the second chamber of England, man, people almost start fights, man, over there. And is that supposed to be a ruling government disagreeing with each other? Okay, disagreeing with each other. Of course, the scripture says, "Debate thy cause with thy neighbor." So when there's certain councils, it needs to be discussed. But is that the way the Most High would have his judges and his counselors debate? No, man. You see, everything in decency and in order. But this kingdom is upside down, so things don't go down like that in this society. You see. But to everything there's a time. So we are now entering it, or we are already in the time of war, man. Okay. A time to plant and a time to pluck up. We are about to enter a time wherein things will be plucked up, man. Things will be plucked up. This rulership will be plucked up. Okay? The peace, it will be taken away. War comes instead. So read that again. Verse 2, I think.
Ecclesiastes 3, verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Yeah, man. So the harvest is right. The harvest is right, man. That means the Heavenly Father is gonna send his angels to pluck up. Now that harvest is talking about people, man. Harvesting people. Okay?
You want that
Give
in
me-
Matthew?
Yeah, man. Give me that in Matthew. And you give me the first Samuel.
This 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 6. The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up.
Yeah, man. So the Heavenly Father is in control of everything, man. He decides whether you are gonna be born or not. He decides whether you're gonna die or not. Okay, you're gonna be rich or poor. All of those things lie in the hands of the Heavenly Father. Okay? So with that also the prophecies, man. Okay, with that also the prophecies. So it comes and it goes. Give me Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. Finish that. Comes and it goes, man. But that doesn't mean it ain't gonna happen. Certain periods of time are gonna be more hectic. You see a lot of shit happening, and then it gets calm a little bit. And like I was talking about last week, that's the calm for the storm, man. You might be in the eye of the storm. When you enter into the eye of the storm, it seems like the storm has disappeared, man. Because you see this clear blue sky, You're like, hey, the storm is over. No, man, you're in the middle of it. Ooh. And that's the worst part to be, man. Being in the eye of the storm. Because when you leave the eye of the storm, total chaos passes over. You see? So you have two parts of a hurricane. When it comes in, then you are in the eye of the storm. You think it's calm a little bit, but then wave 2 comes. Okay? Wave 2 comes, man. So that period of peace and rest, so-called rest and calm, that's only for a moment, man. The Most High lets it come and go like a river. So give me that.
This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
You see that? So if you look at a river of water, and I ain't talking about a river of water over here in Holland, the man-made shit, all straight and cut like this. No, man, I'm talking about the waters for example, in Israel, man, or the waters in Africa. What happens is they are like they moving. They're not moving in a straight line. So, like I always say, let's say you walk in a country, you see a river cross you, so you cross that river, but then a couple of kilometers further, that same river comes back. You see? Now that's how the prophecies of the Heavenly Father work, man.
So they're
He
not-
lets it come to pass. It comes with a wave. The energy of the prophecy coming to pass comes in, then it passes away, but then it comes back harder. You see? Because what did we see last year, man? 2022, we was still in the middle of all kind of chaos, man, concerning this pestilence, man. The year before that also. Okay, now it's a little bit quiet, but like I said, man, this might be the eye of the storm. You see? Don't think it's over, man. These are the, Yahushua said, when you see these things come to pass, these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay? Because the prophecies will come to pass like a chain reaction, man. Back to back to back. When this C-hip gets pushed and it's being made mandatory, then it's gonna be a chain reaction because people ain't gonna take it. So people are gonna rise against the government, sedition among men. The government is gonna deploy military forces, military police, martial law is being implemented when everyone is in chaos. Okay. Now what we see now is, just little bits of news concerning a digital currency coming out. Okay, America's talking about its own digital currency. See, he's talking about his own digital currency. Now, I believe 1.5 months ago I made a video about this, that America said, if we are gonna bring out a digital currency, which we will, it's not gonna be secret. Because the people that are all about cryptocurrency and stuff like that, they was like, we might invest in the cryptocurrency that's owned by the government, and we don't even know it. So the government said, no, if we bring out a cryptocurrency, you're gonna know it's ours. You're gonna know it. It's not gonna be a secret. You see? Because they're gonna cancel out all the other cryptocurrencies and say, no, this is the one you gotta use. This is the one that is, sanctioned by the government. Because the government can just easily say, no, you can't pay with Bitcoin, you can't pay with Litecoin, you can't pay with whatever coin you're using. You can't do transactions. It's worthless. You see? This is the one you gotta pay with, which is also worthless because a digital currency is only just a number. It doesn't exist at all. It holds no value. The value that it has is the value that it's being given. Yeah. That's the only thing that values it, man. And then you have market cap. So how many are there? That's the same thing with gold. Okay? Supply and demand. How much can you supply? And how much do the people demand? Let's say there are only 10. Let's say there's a new metal found. Vibranium. Like for example, Black Panther, right? Vibranium. And there are only 10 pieces of vibranium, but 10,000 people want to have it. That the price of those 10 pieces is gonna go through the roof, because 10,000 people want to have it, but there are only 10 pieces. That's why how you call them premium. How you say that again?
What, the cars?
No, like when something is a premium premium edition, no? Limited edition.
I was thinking about that. Why don't
Limited.
you use cars? Because with cars you have the same
Limited
thing.
edition. When something is a limited edition, you buy it and you keep it for a certain amount of years, and then later you come back and you say, hey, I got something that was limited edition. Not many people had it or bought it. Okay, the price of that rises. Anyway, system. That's the system, man. The system is rigged and everything is gonna go to shit. And the dollar is also nothing. Okay, it's also just being printed over and over again, and it's based upon depth. It's like a depth. Okay, you should watch. What is this documentary I gave to you? Shit, I forget the name.
Oh, Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist. Watch Zeitgeist, man, in order to know and understand how the system is built up, man. Okay, so it's built up from deceit, man. The kingdom of the Most High ain't gonna be like that, man. It's gonna be filled with righteousness, okay, truth, okay, order, justness. So that's what we wait for, man. Okay, you had a precept?
Yeah, a couple of them. But this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 4, verse 37. By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he doth not move, nor stir them, until the set measure be fulfilled.
Yeah, break it down.
So, what the Most High has done with these prophecies, he set them in a specific order, man, for them to eventually come to pass and be fulfilled. And he ain't gonna change that, man. So, the things that we go through right now, it's all according to the will of the Heavenly Father and how he purposed these prophecies, to come to pass, man.
Exactly. Exactly. Everything has to be come to pass in a set time, set order, man. Okay, like it says in Habakkuk, and also you grab Habakkuk, and then you grab Isaiah. I think it's Isaiah chapter 60, the last verse, or is it 66? No, 60, right? Where it says, a little one shall become 1,000.
16,
60 and 20.
This is Isaiah. You want it now?
Yeah, give me now.
This is Isaiah 60, verse 22. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, Yahweh, will hasten it in his time.
You see that? So this is another prophecy that's going to come to pass, but this is a prophecy that will come to pass in the kingdom. Okay? A little one, meaning a brother that has done his works, he has put in his works, okay, but he's not, his works aren't that great, meaning he wasn't standing in the highways and byways for numerous of years, He hasn't turned many people to righteousness, just a few here and there, okay? That's a little one. He shall become 1,000. So he's gonna multiply in the kingdom. He's gonna have, children upon children, man, in the kingdom. His name shall be great. That's a little one. And then it says a small one shall become a strong nation. A strong nation is millions. And then it didn't jump from little one to great one. No, it jumped from little one to small one. Now what is the Most High pointing out with that? I ain't even talking about, the greatest of Israel yet. I'm not even talking about them yet. Because they are gonna be beyond a nation, man. You see? They're gonna be beyond a nation. They're gonna become nations. How is that? How can you become nations? That's the name Abraham means father of a multitude. See? Father of nations, basically. Because if you look at him, his seed, the seed of Abraham became what? The Ishmaelites, the Edomites, the Israelites, okay? But then, Israel became more than 12 nations. Because if you look at Judah, for example, Judah is not only the American Negroes, you got Judah also in Suriname. You got Judah also on the Caribbean islands. You got Judah in Nigeria. So they identify themselves as Nigerian, okay, Antillean, Surinamese, American Negro, but they're all Judah. So Judah is already split in, if I just name a few, it's already split in 4 or 5 nations, man, nationalities. You see? So even individual tribes have become multiple nations. You see? So Abraham, hey, all kinds of nations came out of him, man. You see? All kinds of nations came out of him. If you look at Benjamin, okay, a lot of these Caribbean islands, okay, they are Benjamites, man. Okay? Now you have Benjamin from Barbados, you have Benjamin from St. Kitts, you got Benjamin from St. Lucia, Jamaica, St. Martin, okay, Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, okay, Sabas and Eustatius, okay, Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago. You got all these Caribbean islands, and they identify themselves as the island where they're from. But they Benjamin. You know, most likely they Benjamin. You see? So Benjamin is not, it's all these islands then, man. You know, the people. So that's multiple nations, nationalities.
Where did they go? Most of them are now in England. A lot of them went over there, and a lot of them went in America.
And then their seed was left there, you know. Yeah, man.
Holland also.
Holland, Holland and England, exactly, because they were colonized. Yeah, they were colonized. You see. So yeah, man, that's how we spread and multiplied, and you know we are now multiple nations. So in the kingdom, you're gonna grow so big, your sons is gonna have sons, and it's gonna be so much, man. You know. So what is gonna be a great one? If a small one is gonna be a strong nation, what is a great one gonna be? What's gonna be? What's gonna come off one of the 12? What's gonna be of King David? It's gonna come off him. How many children is he gonna have? Because we're gonna have to repopulate the earth, man. So how many children you think is gonna come out of that, man? Out of the elect, the greatest of the elect? Because there's a ranking, man. There's a ranking. There's gonna be a ranking in the kingdom also, from the least to the greatest. Here it already shows you the ranking: a little one and a small one. It doesn't mean he's a little man. No, of stature. You know, already performing his works over here in this side. Okay, but read it again and see what it says in the end, because that's what the scripture. That's why I pulled the scripture.
It's Isaiah 60, verse 22. The little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, Yahweh, will hasten it in his time.
I, Yahweh, will hasten it in his time. So it's gonna come according to the will and the time of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, when He has planned it, when He decides it. That's when it's gonna come to pass. You see? So it takes patience, okay? It takes faith in order for you to be able to wait on that, man. You see? If you are impatient and if you lack faith, you're most likely gonna slip back into the world and do whatever your heart's desire. You see? But your life, but as for the man of the Lord, their heart is supposed to rest with the Heavenly Father. Give me Colossians chapter 3, and you give me the Habakkuk.
This is Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Yeah, so though it tarry, wait for it, man. Okay, though it tarry, wait for it. Don't let certain events that didn't push through and fulfilled prophecy. Don't let that crush your faith or whatever, man. Everything will come to pass according to the will of the Heavenly Father, man. You see? But you have to understand there's also a sifting process going on. Certain people are gonna, they're gonna fall out this truth, man. Okay, the sifting process has been going on for already a long time. But you have to understand, man, some people have lost patience. Now the scriptures speak about that too. Those that lose patience. Okay? That also has to come. Before the Heavenly Father went to battle with Gibeon, he was slimming down the numbers, man. He was slimming down the numbers first. Okay? Groups of people left. Until the point where it came down to the test, which warriors you're gonna choose. The ones that drink water like this, or the ones that drink water like this? The Most High says take those.
Circumspect versus not circumspect.
Yeah, the circumspect versus not circumspect. The Most High said pick those. 300 men. go to war with them. So the slimming down of the chosen people that was gonna go to war had to happen before they actually went. You see? So now it's the same thing, man. Numbers are growing, numbers are slimming down, you know, in order until the right number is there, which is 144,000 men of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that are gonna get beamed up in the chariots, man. Okay, and now there's a documentary on Netflix. Can someone look it up? Just type in Netflix UFO. Okay,
No.
I started watching. I started to watch episode 1. I was watching it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this out later. I think I had to go, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it out later. But they are showing you lost documents and accounts wherein they saw things in the skies, man. Okay, they saw the top secret documents. Okay, and now of course they come up with all this madness.
You can't really read it, but it says top secret UFO projects declassified.
Strange clouds.
Yeah, show it.
Yeah. Looking real strange.
You know what I mean?
That one looks hella strange, man.
This is in Turkey. Is it playing? Yeah. This is from Al Jazeera
What was
News.
the name?
Top secret UFO
Al Jazeera.
declassified.
Top secret UFO declassified. Declassified means it's not classified anymore. Okay, classified means it's secret. Declassified means it's not secret anymore. Okay, anyway. Actually, classified. Can you look up the word classified? Means it's only. I believe it means it's only. It's given to a certain class, right? Certain group. It's put up for a certain group.
It's like in the military. It's
Yeah.
for your eyes only the colonels or something. Or
Yeah, no, but in the military bases, you know, my sergeant major said, you know, back in the days, he said like the military bases in Afghanistan, he had you had the things were classified by numbers. So you had access number 1 up till 8. So if you have access 4, you can enter into certain places, but he had access 8.
Yeah, you can go to
So he could go everywhere. He could go inside everywhere. And he was saying that with pride, I can go everywhere. I can step into, you know, offices, councils, and also they also want me there because he was head of the EOD, you know, the bomb, the bombing squad, detaching the bombs. So he always came with the full suit and shit. He was allowed to just go in there and, you know, because that was a big thing in the Afghanistan war. All the fucking, all the bombs. All the bombs, man, that they had. So,
Classified?
yeah, the word classified. So, of course, it's a common known word. So I wanna 100% point out what it means.
It says classified as an adjective in the online etymology dictionary. It says arranged in classes.
Arrange the classes. That's what I said, right? It's put in certain classes. So that's why I came with the example of the military. You have class 1 up to 8. Which class you fall in? For you, this is classified. This is classified. That's it.
It also says meaning secret.
Meaning secret.
And then behind brackets it says in reference to government information.
Exactly. So when something is declassified, it's not only in the class of government officials, it's also being shown onto the people. So it's not secret. So, but when you watch this stuff, I already see certain fishy things coming up in it. You know, talking about that they saw a UFO crash and that they took it and shit. That's all garbage, man. They ain't got no UFO. They ain't got that. They don't got the chariots of the Mossad in their military base inspecting it and all that type of bullshit. They ain't shooting down no chariots neither, man. They aim at them, they shoot at them, but they ain't shooting them down. Come on, man. You must be mad.
Have you seen
A
the
chariot can change its form, disappear, become invisible. You see? Go from one dimension to another. What you think? They ain't gonna shoot down nothing.
Have you seen the series Homefront? It's a series based in America, and it's kind of like they're trying to establish martial law in a one-world government, and they come up with this, so-called alien invasion with actual ships that crash down and things like that. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to, cause hatred towards, the things that people don't know about. Man.
Exactly. Chariots.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's indoctrination. Okay. Over the years, they have put out videos, movies, wherein they show you that aliens are out there to kill us, and that they ain't with us, and when they come, they're gonna annihilate the human race. So we need to stand strong together. This, that, and the third. So now, when you see UFOs, or when you see chariots, you're gonna be in fear, terrible fear, because Esau has put in your mind that they ain't on your side. Okay, give me the account with Elijah. With the chariots, and also give me Revelation. Give me Revelation chapter 12, 17 and 14.
16.
Yeah, later. Because this is a cycle. Verse 14, and also Revelation chapter 12. Also grab Revelation. You don't have that's what we say. No, Revelation chapter 12. I think Revelation 12 and 7. So read that.
This is Revelation 17, verse 14. These shall make war.
Actually, start at 11.
Is Revelation 17, verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth and is of the seven.
Okay, so wait. So the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth and is of the seven, which is America. Okay, the seven is England. So the eighth beast comes from the UK. The eighth beast comes out of the UK. Okay, that's where it derived from. Go on.
And it is of the seven and goeth into perdition.
It's gonna be destroyed. The eighth is going to be destroyed because according to the scriptures, America will be burned with thermonuclear fire. You see? So the eighth beast cometh out of the seven, the eighth which was and is not, because it's gonna be wiped away from the map. It's gonna be destroyed. It's gonna go into perdition. If you look up the perdition, it says destruction. Go on.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
And that's why also the scripture says your mother is going to be sore displeased with you.
She's
And-
gonna be ashamed.
I thought it was displeased.
No, it says that mother shall be ashamed. Grab it, Jeremiah 15:11. I was gonna look for it, but he
This is Jeremiah
be
15.
confounded, which that means ashamed, and then later it says also ashamed. Yeah, but so read that real quick, because it's already written down there. America comes from the seven. That's why America comes from the seven. Okay, which shows you that it's America's mother is England. Okay.
This show with
No, I want Jeremiah, but I have context. Sorry.
I got it. This is Jeremiah 50, verse 12. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
Yeah, man. A dry land and a desert, because when thermonuclear fire lands, everything is gonna be blown to dust, man. So the only thing that's gonna be left is a desert. That's where the word desolation comes from, or the other way around. I mean. The word desert comes from the word desolate, because there's nothing there. Go into the Sahara, man. If you get dropped in the middle of the Sahara, you're done, man. Because there's nothing there. No water, no shelter, no coverage. Okay, that's why I did this video. On the tamarisk tree. Okay, in Israel, in certain dry places, you would find the tamarisk tree, which the tamarisk tree is where Abraham lodged under, and that's where he set up his wells, under these tamarisk trees, because what these tamarisk trees did, they are natural AC, air conditioning. So when it's the heat of the day, back in the days, they would look for a tamarisk tree because it was cool there, because the way that this tree works, it sends out cool air, because the water that it sucks up from the ground gets filtered. Okay, check out if you type in GMS tamarisk tree, then you find the video. But you don't have that in deserts, man. In the desert, only certain countries have these trees. Okay, go on.
This is Revelation 17, verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet.
Yeah, man. So the 10 horns of the beast with 7 heads. Okay. But it's not the beast with 7 heads. The 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which receive no kingdom as yet. Okay, because that's the EU and NATO, man. Okay, the European nations are in a joint rulership with the NATO, man, which is the beast. So read on.
This is Revelation 17, verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
They have received power. Okay, they have power. They receive power. What does it say?
But receive power as kings.
Yeah, receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Now this is not a literal hour, but it's a short period of time. Okay, because you have all these summits, right? You have the NATO councils where all these nations are gathering, you know, wherein they have something to say. Okay, and they give their power unto the beast. What is the power of a nation? It's military force. That's why there's a military. That's why there's a NATO army out there. NATO military, and a NATO military is set up by military sections of each individual country. Man, France gives the fighter jets. Germany gives the tanks, because Germany has badass tanks. That was in the news.
Mark something.
No, man, the Leopard. Yeah, man. Look up Germany Leopard tank. That's the baddest tank out there, man. So now they want to send those tanks onto Ukraine, because the NATO tells Germany the tanks need to go to Ukraine. So that's how they give their strength unto the beast. The NATO backs up Ukraine because Russia is not part of the NATO. You see? So the NATO backs up Ukraine, and the NATO tells Germany, "Hey, give us these tanks," which they are called Leopard tank. They're super agile, and their shooting power is powerful and stuff like that. You see, so that comes from Teman. Teman is a tribe of Edom. And that's, by the way, that shows you also Abraham. From Abraham came Esau. He's his grandson. But Esau has multiple tribes also. Amalek, okay? Teman.
I have the video if
You see, so even there, Esau and then Esau became multiple nations also. England, Poland, France, Italy, Russia, you see? So they are multiple nations also.
show the video?
A video of what? The tank?
German Leopard 2
Fuck
tank.
that shit, man. Fuck that shit, man. Just look it up. If you are interested in seeing tanks, you just look it up. Holland had to just before I went into the military, Holland sold all his tanks. They had to or something. And then Holland had like a military section that was all about the tanks. It was called the artillery companion, and they were badass, man, because they had like war games, right? War games wherein wherein England would come with his tanks, and then America would come with its tanks, France, Spain, and then they would do performances with the tanks to see which one is the best. And Holland would always win. And all of a sudden, Holland had to stop that whole tank section, and they sold all the tanks to other countries. And then the guys that were like officers and stuff like that for that artillery, they lost the job, or they had to join something else.
Military projects over here sucks. Materials black.
So Esau's fucked up. Esau's fucked up. And also back in the days here in Holland, you would be set for life when you joined the military. You would be set for life. That's not the case no more, man. Every 3 years, you need to change section. So let's say you are with the Marine Corps, you are infantry. After 3 years, you need to become a diver. No, not diver. You are a Marine, you stay a Marine. But within the Marines, you have different sections. Yeah. Every 3 years you need to change, otherwise no new people can come in. Then you become a diver, or then you become sports instructor. Then you become mountain. You go to the mountain faction. Okay, you have to go to Norway, teach climbing classes. And if you don't do it, then you gone, man. You give your life, for the military.
Dishonorable discharge.
No, you get an honorable discharge. Yeah. Dishonorable if you fucked up, if you stabbed someone in the neck or something. No, if you did something, outside of work, then you get the dishonorable discharge, man. They just kick you out. You just put your stuff on the front door and. But you shouldn't even care about that. The hell with that, man. The hell with that. When I left, I was walking up the hill away from the military base and I cussed everyone out there. Anyway.
The Elisha part with the more...
No. Revelation 12 and 7.
Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought against his angels and prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
Yeah, man. So you got two parties. You got Yahweh Shai with the angels and the elect, and you got Esau with his demons and his military forces. Okay, so it's split up. Hi. You have a question?
Yes. Just curious.
Okay.
I'm curious. I'm wondering what you are.
Yeah, we are recording, but it's no problem. You can ask questions. Everyone that walks by here can ask questions. Always. That's why we stand.
Right?
Ja, ik praat ook Nederlands. Ja.
Ja joh, maar wat is het verhaal van jullie?
Jullie zien er zo mooi uit.
Wij zijn Hebreeuwse Israëlieten, de mensen die in de Bijbel staan, de mensen die Mozes uit Egypte heeft geleid.
Ja.
Wij geloven dat wij die mensen zijn. Dus vroeger, ze zeggen dat de geschiedenis van de zogenoemde Negro's begon in Afrika. Maar in Afrika zijn ook, de geschiedenis vertelt ook van de kingdoms van Afrika. Timbuktu, de Kingdom of Timbuktu, Ashanti. Maar dat was ook maar een klein gedeelte, want daarvoor waren we gevlucht. Heb je een Bijbelland in het boekje? Daarvoor waren we gevlucht vanuit Israël naar Afrika. Van Romeinse slavernij. Want tijdens 70 AD, dus 70 AD, toen wilden ze Israël binnenvallen.
Maar je vertelt het geschiedkundig verhaal.
Geschiedenis, want de Bijbel
Ja.
is ook een boek met geschiedenis. Dit
Maar
is
je
al.
vertelt het
Zijn
vast
jullie
met
nu
een
aan
bedoeling.
het bidden?
Nee, we zijn aan het prediken.
Het prediken. Maar voor jezelf of...
Voor de hele
of-
wereld. Want
Ah,
mensen
je
uit
spreekt.
Amerika, overal in de wereld, die zitten nu te kijken.
Ah,
Ja.
oké.
Dus kijk, dit is de geschiedenis dat in het boek staat. En ze hebben ook een spreekwoord, als je iets van een donkere man wilt verstoppen, dan zet het in een boek. Want ze weten dat we moeite hadden met lezen. Ja, Nation Knows no Color Line. Dit boek laat je zien dat de geschiedenis van Europa, dat het eigenlijk voor was, kan je het even pakken? De reden dat ze hier Zwarte Piet vieren, is omdat de Moren waren donkere mensen die Europa eigenlijk heersten. Maar dat is allemaal gewitwast. Nee, pak die family shields. Dus dat is allemaal gewitwast. Wat is Sinterklaas? Sinterklaas is een feest waarin de Moren, de hoofdbasis van de Moren was in Spanje. Hun kwamen naar andere landen zoals Engeland en Nederland om slaven te pakken en terug naar Spanje te brengen. Dat is eigenlijk het verhaal. En waarom maken ze een Moor donker met afrohaar? Omdat dat is hoe ze eruit zagen. Maar de geschiedenis, als je naar school gaat, de geschiedenis vertelt jou dat donkere mensen uit Afrika komen en dat ze daar met korte rokjes achter gazellen aan gingen rennen. Maar dat is niet waar, want hier zie je ook Negro en coats of arms, dus familieschilden. Dit zijn de familieschilden van Europa. Frans, Nederlands, Belgisch. En dat ziet er allemaal zo uit. Zijn jullie wel eens in Sardinië geweest? Sardinië, maar weet je hoe de vlag van Sardinië eruit ziet? Het zijn 4 donkere mannen met afro, met een hoogband. Waarom ziet de vlag zo eruit? Ook Sicilië. Sicilië, als je naar het noorden van Italië gaat, zie je mensen met blond haar, maar Sicilië, ze hebben allemaal donkere haren, maar ook dat de Moren hadden Sicilië overgenomen en ja, kill the men and marry the women.
Oh, maar dat is wat Corsica.
Corsica, maar je hebt Sardinië, jullie van Sardinië. Dit is, je hebt Sardinië en je hebt Corsica, maar die vlaggen zijn allemaal...
Ja, dat lijkt op elkaar.
Maar dit verhaal, is dit het verhaal wat je nou ook vertelt op de stream?
Ja.
Je verkondigt eigenlijk een verhaal, een boodschap aan mensen die daarvoor geïnteresseerd zijn.
Ja, zeker,
En
zeker.
waarom in drie streams?
Eigenlijk zijn het er 4. Wij hebben ook een groep hier zo die het in gebarentaal doet. Maar tijdens de corona moesten we afstand houden. Want eigenlijk stonden we allemaal op 1.
Ja.
Dus toen moesten we ineens afstand houden. Toen werden het groepjes van 2. En toen mochten we ineens met 3 en 4 staan. Dus, en toen hebben we het zo gelaten. Ja. Ja, dat is onze vaste plek.
Oké.
Dus heb je die Bijbel?
Nee, wij lopen door, maar gewoon even geïnteresseerd in wat verhaal was. Bedankt.
Ja, dankjewel.
Succes, hè?
Mooi. Ja, succes. Ja.
Dat is goed. Read that.
This is the book from
You know what just happened? A couple of Edomites, they was wondering what this is all about. You know, so I explained about the history of Holland, wherein they celebrate Black Pete. And I said, like, listen, man, we are here speaking about history. You know, the history of our people and where we originally come from, which is Israel, and that a lot of things are whitewashed and are not the way it originally is. AKA, what I pointed out was that their people changed history to their own benefit, man. Acting as if we played no part in history. So then I pointed out that the whole celebration of Black Pete and St. Nicholas coming to send presents to the children that were I say honorable towards their parents and that listened to their parents, those children would get presents. But the children that did not listen, Black Pete would take them put them in his bag, and bring them to Spain, aka captives. He took him captives and brought them because that's what happened back in the days. Edomites would be taken captive by the Moorish people, which were Israelites. Okay, I don't know if this video is still online, but I did a video about it from Israelites to Moors to Berbers. Okay, it's still up because they took it down.
Yeah, it was on the other channel, right? But you
It was on the
re-uploaded
other
it.
channels. I think I re-uploaded it, but that shows you the history of how we became Moors and then how we became Berbers. Because the people that call themselves Berbers, or also known as Amazigh, they are descendants of the Israelites that fled into Mauritania and Morocco. Okay, and stationed themselves there. And then, what was it, 711 AD, the Moors went into Spain. And there they, that was basically their headquarters, because the Moors traveled throughout Europe. But Spain, as we all know, here in Holland, if you go to Spain now, it's what, 18, 19 degrees? Hey, that's better than what it is over here, you know? Here it's 0 degrees right now, Celsius. Celsius. So that's not Fahrenheit. In America, you brothers have Fahrenheit, but here is Celsius. So here's 0 degrees, man. That means freezing point. But in Spain, it's acceptable right now. You don't need to walk around with a thick ass jacket. In Spain, a lot of houses, they don't have heaters. There are no heaters over there. You see? Yeah, there are no heaters there because it's not necessary, because it doesn't get cold like that. It's always, acceptable. So the Moors, they were there and they went to Holland to take Edomite slaves, captives, and bring them back to Spain. That is where the whole celebration is all about, man. Black Pete is gonna bring. So I was pointing that out to these Edomites. I was saying, like, this is where it all came from. So y'all want to act as if our history, the history of the Negroes, started in Africa, running behind gazelle with a spear. But we were already far more advanced than y'all. You see? Because Jake was teaching Esau how to wash himself. Jake was teaching Esau about music. Chess came from the Moors, playing chess. Okay? Which Esau took upon himself, and he's now this ultimate chess player, right? Meanwhile, we had to teach him all this stuff. It also speaks about the musical tunes. Can you grab that in, where is it again? In Sirach. Okay, it all came from us, man. We are the salt of the earth, you see? But what is Esau? Esau is the thief of the earth and the destroyer of the earth. So whatever is dope, he steals, and he, acts as if he came up with it. You see? Acting as if he came up with it. So read the Babylon to Timbuktu.
Yeah, this is from Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84. It says, in 70 AD, General Vespasian.
Vespasian.
That's why I gave it to you, so you can practice it.
In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrageous and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
You see that? The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves, which is just, the slave markets were full of Israelites, and Israelites fled into Africa. Okay? So, if you are dark-skinned man, are you gonna flee amongst white people, or are you gonna flee amongst dark-skinned people? you're gonna flee into Africa, man. Which that was a common thing of Israelites already. You know, you had Israelites living in Egypt. Okay, you had Israelites living in Ethiopia. You had Israelites living in what's the place next to Egypt?
Libya?
Libya. Okay. What is this man's name again? Simon.
Cyrene, right?
Simon of Cyrene? Or was it Cilicia? Or was Cilicia? Yeah, check it out. I think it was Simon. Get out, yo. But Libya, man, that's the country next to Egypt. You had Israelites that was living there. Yahushai and his parents, they was living in Egypt for 13 years, 12 years. Okay, because when he was about 12 years old, Cyrene, and then look up the word Cyrene, or check out where Cyrene is located. Yeah.
Cyrene was born in Cyrene of Shabbat, Libya.
Shabbat.
Shahat.
Yeah, Shahat. But you read when you look quickly, you think it says Shabbat. Okay, so Simon of Cyrene, the one that helped Yahushua carry the cross. Okay, he was from Libya. You see? So Jake was already out there in Africa living. You know, if you think that Jake was only living in Israel, then you lack understanding, man. Jake is not only living in America now neither, right? You have Jake everywhere. Jakes from the Caribbean island are not only in the Caribbean island. Like the brother was explaining, you got Jake from the Caribbean islands in England, Ireland, okay, Holland, Germany, Belgium, France, Spain. Okay, my father-in-law, he lives in Spain. You see? Because he'd be like, fuck out of here with Holland. I can work from home anyway. It doesn't matter where I live. So he went to Spain. He was like, that's good. It's nice and warm over here. Acceptable. Especially in the summertime. He'd be balling. Okay? So that's a choice. Anyway, but that's a choice. What am I saying? That's a choice. That's a choice, yeah, where you want to live. It's a choice. But the point is, Jake wasn't only living in Israel back in those days, man.
Yeah.
Why do you think that it says 3 times a year, okay, the males of Israel had to go to Jerusalem to worship? Where did they come from then? From where did they have to come? Of course, the regions within Israel wherein they lived, but you had Jakes that lived outside of Israel, man. Anyway, so when all hell broke loose, 70 AD, Vespasian, Titus Domitian, okay, they was overtaking Israel. Flee ye into the mountains. Yahushua said it. Flee ye into the mountains. Now the mountains were pointed towards Africa, man. That's what those mountains represent. Okay, that's what those. My phone, I could have showed you some pictures, but if you stand in the desert in Egypt and you look into the distance, all you see is mountains, man. And then you have certain passages through those mountains to come into the open valley again, man, or to come close to the seashore. When you go from inland Egypt, and you want to go to the Red Sea, it's filled with mountains, man, before you actually come to the seashore. You can't just, and the terrain is heavy. That's why when you read the book of Exodus, and I'm telling you, that's why it's crazy to walk around there, man. You be like, Egypt is the land of your captivity. It was the land of your captivity. But when you walk around there, you feel like, no, not really. It's not like you feel like the Exodus, but you can visualize us walking. You can visualize us walking there. You have to understand it, and how much more special would it be, you know, walking around in Jerusalem. You be like, man, my ancestors walked there, man. You see, my ancestors were here. I saw this video. These devils They were standing at the well, the well at Bethany, I believe it was, where Yahushua gathered with the disciples and spoke about a lot of things. You had Edomites standing there. Oh, this is where Jesus was, having his talks and stuff like that. Like, you devils, man. This is not your country, man. That's not, you ain't supposed to stand over there, man. You see? Taking it all lightly and stuff like that. You see? Fuck out of here, man. But man, it's a certain vibration, man. Anyway, the land of mountains is Africa. So we fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. And when I spoke about slavery, Esau already got like uncomfortable, and I was like, let me read it. No, we actually have to go. I understand you have to go. You don't want to hear that shit. Because you get, pricked.
Every music instruments.
Yeah, man.
Straight to the point there, brother. This is Sirach chapter 44, starting at verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and their fathers that begat us.
Yeah, man. So there was a lot of Israelites that came with beautiful inventions and that designed beautiful things. If you think about it, man, they was already, with the heart, man. And if you look at Jake in West Africa, Jake in the Caribbean islands, children be freaking inventing things, man. Do you think there's a toy store in the Caribbean islands, big toy store and stuff like that, to buy yourself some race cars and shit like that, or to buy yourself some Lego? No, man, that shit ain't there. You make your toys. You create them with sticks and stones. That's how you do that shit, man. Inventing things, man. There's children. Okay? Now, the reason that back in the days we was able to fight wars with farming tools was because we could just, we could just wield those farming tools like it were real weapons, man. And out of that came the existence of weapons that look like farming tools. I'm watching this series wherein you see these Ishmaelite type of people with blades, and then it has like the crescent moon. It's like a sickle, right? A sickle was not created for war. A sickle was created for harvesting. You grab the wheat and you pull it together with the sickle, and then you chop it off. Boom. And then you put it in the
basket,
not in the basket, in the what you put behind the horse carriage. Put it in there. You see? But they started to create them, make weapons out of it. Go on.
The Lord Yahweh has brought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning.
It's all through the glory and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshai that we was able to create these inventions and tools that we used. If you watch the movie The Eternals, did you watch it? No, because the alphabet. You watch it, right?
I think I did. I watched it and then I forget.
Because it ain't that,
Hey, yeah!
Go to him.
Why you hiding? He was like, yo. I always tell these brothers to watch these movies, man. But then they start stuttering. I don't know if I.
Eternal with the giant eternal guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it.
With the sodomite that creates
and
things.
destroys planets, right?
No. This sodomite, he has like the ability to create a technology, and then he gives it. And he gives it to Jake, man. He gives it to the people.
Who's the Chinese name?
But my point is, the Heavenly Father also implemented in the minds of the people to invent new things. Now, Jake was great in inventing new things, and that all came from the Most High. Now, if you watch this movie, it shows a similar concept wherein you see the Jake, he's creating steam train,
Yeah, for
and then the guy said, no, not yet, because they ain't ready yet. And then he said, okay, he scrapped the steam train, and then he created a farming tool, you know, to plow the ground. So you have the donkey, and then you have the wooden attachment, and then you have the axe that goes in the ground, and the donkey only has to walk, and he plows the ground. He's like, okay, here, then let them have this. So I was looking at that, I was like, they show you how the Most High decides, like, okay, let the people evolve a little bit more to fulfill, you know, everything that has to be done upon this earth, to the point that the Most High said, I created the smith. And I was like, okay, so, but of course you get vexed looking at, you know, a bundle of sticks, and then he's a so-called God, right? But he's a bundle of sticks. And then he has a family, or he creates a household with this Ishmaelite, and he has an adopted child. Yo! You wanna Genki Dama that fucking man? Fuck out of here, man. You wanna Soyukan that fucking dude, man. You see, it's irritating, but hey, you know, sometimes you watch movies and you get some information out of it, which can be valuable for your lessons, man. Okay? Or the way you think, the way you see things. Okay? So watch these movies. I think the Eternals, you have Disney Plus?
Yeah, I got it.
You watch it on Disney Plus, man. I think Naka's PlayStation is still at the house, right? He took it?
Yes.
What? Oh,
Because when I was there, I never played it.
I was thinking about, you know, give me your PlayStation.
Let me borrow it.
Let me borrow it. No, I was gonna buy it from him because he never plays it anyway. PS5, give me that.
I
Yeah,
have a precept. I can't do that, but.
I don't play neither actually.
This is Exodus chapter 31, starting in verse 1. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur of the tribe of Judah. And I have filled him with the Spirit of the Most High, in wisdom, and in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship.
All manner of workmanship. Now I do have to say, actually was still a black man, right? So-called black man. Tubal Cain. Tubal Cain was the first man that created tools and stuff like that. And weapons, also weapons?
I don't know.
He was an artificer. Artificer is a man that makes weapons, right? Look up the word artificer. Let me look up the thing of Tubal Cain.
Came out of Esau, right? Oh, not Esau. Salakia. No.
Came out of
Yeah, no.
I have it
How
here.
about for you?
This is
That's what I said.
Genesis chapter 4. Yo, my feet are cold, man. Genesis chapter 4, verse 20. No, let me start at 16. Genesis chapter 4, verse 16. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. Now this is not the same Enoch that came from Seth. You have the Enoch that came from Cain, and you have Enoch that came from Seth. Okay? So verse 18, and Enoch was born Irad, and Irad began Mehujael, and Mehujael became Methusael, and Methusael begat Lamech, and Lamech took unto him two wives. The name of one was Adah, and the name of the other Zillah, and Adah bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal, and he was the father of all such that handled the harp and organ. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron, and the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah. Okay, now you have the word artificer.
Yeah, the word artificer goes into, indeed being a creator or a blacksmith type.
Like a blacksmith, yeah.
Ambachtsman.
So that is a descendant of Cain,
Craftsman.
a craftsman, a descendant of Cain, which Cain means Kwayan, it's like spear or weapon, okay? Stabbing device. That's why he's the one that killed his brother Abel. Now, who is also a man of weapons? Who's also a man of weapons? Esau, man. What is Esau's blessing? The sword. So, they were the first ones to be all up into weapons and stuff like that, creating these tools. Because, they shall take away peace from the earth, being the destroyer of the earth. But Jake, with the same tool, they would plow the ground and plow your head, if it had to happen. But Jake created beautiful things, man, which they up till this day hide from the people.
Continue in Sirach.
Yeah.
This is Sirach chapter 44 and verse 3. Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies. Leaders of the people, by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning, meet for the people, wise and eloquent in their instructions, such as found out musical tunes and rejected verses in writing.
See that? So deep speech, like what they call philosophy today, philosophizing. Bringing up quotes and stuff like that. Like you have the Stoics that have all these quotes and they meditate upon how to become a better person and stuff like that. Those proverbs and bywords and stuff like that. That came from Jake, man. And the poetry, yeah, man, the poetry. Okay, that came from Jake, man. And musical tunes. You see, the musical tunes, man. The dances, the ballets. Okay, it all came from Jake. When you look at the history of England, okay, which was the Anglo-Saxon Empire, okay, they had these ballroom dresses, right? With basically the ballroom dresses that these Edomites started to wear. They had to put this metal cage around it, and that was all to mimic the way that these dresses would sit upon Jake females, man, with the big behind. Okay, because that's how it looked on Jake. And then if you dig into it, if you dig into the history of certain kings of England, you look up King James the First, the Second, the Third, the Fourth, no images. Okay, no images. Why not? Why no images of those? Then you had a king. He was called Black Boy. No images. Why is? And they said he was called Black Boy because he had black hair. No, man. That's the same thing that they said about this Viking. That was called what was his name again?
Your brother, who was it?
He was called the Black.
Yeah,
So always covering up shit, man. Mary, Queen of Scots. Mary, Queen of Scots. She was Jake too, man. Okay, Israelites ruling Europe. But according to the knowledge of these Edomites, they ruled Europe for thousands of years, man. Which is not the truth, yeah. You see, it's false. But that was their way, man. Okay, the Most High made Esau the cherub that covered it. Okay, he covers information, he covers the truth. Because that's what was given unto you. What you got? You got the dresses.
Yeah, no, this is something that resembles that, because what the brother was speaking about triggered something in my mind. That in Suriname you had our women, they would also wear dresses where actually their behind was covered, not to entice the slave master. You know, so they would actually wear so much clothes to just protect their body, not to show their body to the slave master. Otherwise,
You get turned on, and
Yeah.
then, you know,
Yeah,
it's gonna lay with you.
So that also goes back to the whole big dresses. See, in Suriname they would wear these things. Kotomisi, this is something that during the time of slavery our women would wear in Suriname to cover their bodies. And that would also start off with a big on the yeah, that iron thing. It would also start with that, so that they would wear dresses over it.
Yeah, man. See, so that's it, man. So go back to
I also had a
en hij komt nu en hij ziet hem nog steeds. Hij denkt steeds van
alsnog niet.
Kijk hoor.
I had a precept on the Babylon from Timbuktu. Let's see. Just a quick side note. It's Isaiah 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it had commanded, and his spirit it had gathered them. So this is a quick side note. This is why we always use the other books, you know, to back up the Bible, because none of these shall have her mate. Meaning the book of the Lord, which is the Bible, none is gonna none is gonna equal it. You see? But we do use books with history to back up the points that are made in the Bible. So, let's see, going back to Revelation. What did you have? Were you reading? Yeah. So this is Revelation 12. Read it again.
Khan, this is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
Yeah, man. So the dragon, which represents Esau and his angels with his demons and left-hand side knowledge, you know, he's coming with these fighter jets and all these equipments that he made. You know, that's why the brother went into this, the war tactics, the war tools that we were using. Esau, he uses his left-hand side knowledge. You know, so the Most High gave him knowledge, because the Most High, he is a man of war, like it says in the book of Exodus. So he likes a good fight. So he gave Esau this knowledge to make these exoskeleton suits and all these fighter jets and all these tanks. But still, when Michael and his angels come, which is, it starts with Yahushai, and then you have, under Yahushai, you have Michael the Archangel. When he comes, you know, then it's a done deal. But the Most High, he likes to see a good fight. So that's why he's making it kind of balanced, but still, we already know who the victor is. You see, the victor is going to be Yahushai and Michael the Archangel. See? Oh yeah, that's a good point, because the scripture says he's going to be taken out of heaven. And what is heaven? Heaven is a place of rulership. You know, these people, Esau so-called white man, he's in his heaven right now. He's the ruling class right now. So when Yahushua comes, he's gonna take them out of heaven. They're gonna be brought down to the ground. They're gonna be brought low. You see?
It's Job chapter 20 and verse 6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
Yeah. So now Esau's in his heaven, right? And when Yahushua is gonna come, he's gonna bring him down. Afterwards, in the kingdom, they're gonna be our slaves for 1,000 years, like it says in the book of Revelation. You know, so after those 1,000 years, he's gonna be done away with. That's why the scripture says it's gonna be like he never was. You know, because he's gonna be exterminated. He's the only race that's gonna be done away with. You see, all the other nations, they're gonna go back to their lands, they're gonna go back to their daily business, but Esau is not gonna be anymore. But now he's still in his rulership. You see? So these are the words of prophecy. These are the things that still need to happen. Like the brother was saying in the beginning, you know, by measure had he measured the times. So this is also something that's gonna happen in the kingdom and after 1,000 years. I mean, you see, so we have that vision. We have the vision of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We know what is gonna happen. Only thing we need is patience and faith.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, like, the way he looks and the curse, because it is a curse. There's a curse been put upon Esau, which is the mark of Cain. That mark of Cain is gonna be out of the earth, man. You see, that mark of Cain is not gonna be visible no more, because Esau is not gonna be there no more. The man whose name is Aishashua, which means wasted away is he, that type of person is not gonna be in the earth no more. That lacks melanin like that. Okay? He got a curse upon himself. He's a leper. Okay? Do you think the Most High wants, you know, lepers to walk around in the kingdom of heaven like that, man? No, man. That is gonna be done. Gone. Be gone with that. Okay? Every race is just gonna come in its original form again, which is being, you know, full of melanin. You see? Edom, red, gone. Okay? Now the spirit, the Most High doesn't destroy spirits, but does Hebrews say? What is that? Hebrews 11 and 7, I think. Let me grab real quick. Hebrews 12 and 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? So the Heavenly Father is the Father of spirits. Now Esau also came from the Heavenly Father, man. Esau also has a spirit. So the Most High ain't going to destroy the spirit of Esau, but he is going to destroy the nation of Esau. But the spirit of Esau is going to come back into the earth, man. But it's going to come back as another nation. Okay? So what was you reading?
Job. It's Job chapter.
Oh, you was breaking down Job 20.
Yeah, he went into the Revelation 12, and he's going to be taken out of heaven, and then took this as a precept. Yeah, going back to Revelation 17, because we wanted to go to 14.
Yeah. Go back to Revelation 17.
This is Revelation 17, verse 13. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
Yeah, so this is again talking about the EU nations. They give their strength and power, the military forces, their council, unto the beast, which is the NATO. Go on.
These shall make war with the Lamb.
They're gonna make war with the Lamb. So who's the Lamb? Yahushua is the Lamb. They're gonna make war with Yahushua. Like we just read, Michael and his angels fought against Satan and his angels. Okay? So there's gonna be war. Go on.
And the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings.
The Lamb shall overcome them. So it's already written who's gonna have the victory. Okay? It's already written who's gonna have the victory. Yahushua is gonna be victorious over these military forces, these military armies. What have you, Ezra's? Okay. That's talking about World War III. That's not talking about. Go on.
And they
But that's a good scripture.
and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
Yeah. So what is the word chosen in the Greek? Electos. Okay, so it's talking about the elect. The elect is gonna be with Yahushua when he's gonna come and claim the throne and give it unto his father. Give me that in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 22. Okay, 1 Corinthians 15 and 22. Read on.
Verse 15, Revelation 17 and 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are people and multitudes and nations and tongues.
So the waters where the whore sitteth upon, which the whore is America. Okay, America that sitteth upon the scarlet colored beast. You see? The scarlet colored beast. Go on. And the waters whereon she sitteth is people. Because America, from America, this whole world is being governed and ruled. Okay, America is that he looked like a lamb and spake like a dragon. You see? He's a fierce and he acts as if he's all innocent, but they are around the world making war with everyone. You know?
Draconian laws.
Draconian laws, exactly. Draconian laws, which means dragon-like. You know, draconian is actually dragon, but meaning like fierce laws that are unjust. That's why, what was his name? Saint.
The one who came up with those laws?
Huh?
The one who came up with those laws?
No. He had a quote. He said, I forgot his name. Something with the B. But he said, can you look it up? I did a video about this last week and I got it already. Shots. Because we in this weak ass flesh. I already forget. Type in on Google, a law. An unjust law is no law. Saint,
Yeah.
what's his name? It says it in the bottom of the quote. Go to images. Bro.
Fingers freeze.
Yeah, man.
No functioning.
We kunnen het probleem met betalen.
Bradley Lewis?
No, man, he stole it. Before, you know these devils, man. They steal this shit. Saint Augustine. I didn't even see it, but now Saint Augustine, right? Yeah, Saint Augustine. Saint Augustine, he said an unjust law is no law at all. Because a law has to stand for peace, safety, justness, okay? Okay? If two people clash with each other and the one goes out of order by doing things that hurt or damage the other, a law is supposed to set things straight. But if it's unjust, then it's not a law at all. If you say the rule is the guy that punches first in a fight, he gets punished for he gets punished. But then, if that law does not apply with the so-called black man, then that's unjust, right? You create a law which says the guy that punches first, he's in the wrong. But then when a white man, so-called white man, punches the so-called black man first, then that law does not apply. That's an unjust law, man. You see? And that's what the scriptures is speaking about. That he set it up laws by mischief, man. It's unjust. It's not righteousness in the sight of the Most High. So it's not a law at all.
Also in Psalms 50, it speaks on that he sides with the ones that are breaking the law, that the thieves. Yeah, they give consent.
Yeah. When another country invades, let's say when Russia invades a country where the oil is at, he says he's doing wrong. But when they do it themselves, then there's nothing wrong with it. See? They're off, man. Anyway, go on.
Revelation 17, verse.
No, read on.
This is the First Corinthians.
No, read on, bruh.
I'm just reminding.
Taking the piss from.
Revelation 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
Okay, so now we're coming back to the fact that, you know, America is going to be ashamed. England is going to be ashamed. Did we actually read that?
Jeremiah 50.
Thy mother shall be sore confounded, which the word confounded means to be ashamed of America. And so not only is England gonna be ashamed and make war with America eventually, also these 10 horns which thou sawest, which were 10 kings that have rulership with the NATO, with the beast. Read on.
Revelation 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore,
He shall hate the whore, read on,
and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
So America is gonna be destroyed with thermonuclear fire, man, because the whore is America. Okay, that make it the nations to drink, that make it the nations to drink of her fornication, her cup of fornication. Okay, give me that in Jeremiah 51. And also, yeah, read Obadiah.
This is Obadiah.
As a matter of fact, read the Corinthians first. 1 Corinthians 15 and read 24.
Yeah, this First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 24. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power.
Yeah, so the time is going to come wherein Yahushua is going to come back and take the rule, man. Take the rule, take down all these kingdoms, and give it back to his Father. Go on.
For he must reign till he had put all enemies under his feet.
He must put all enemies under his feet. That's why he's going to put all these crowns upon his head. He's going to take the full dominion and give it to his Father. But guess what? The Heavenly Father is going to give it back to him. You are my son. All belongs unto you. The Most High has spoken the word to create this realm wherein we live, wherein the sun, the moon, the stars is created, the planets, okay, the light and the darkness, the water, the fire, okay, the trees, everything in the animals, everything in existence is created in this realm for Yahushua to rule in it. In it. You know? For Yahushua to rule in it. Okay? Yahushua is going to take it, put all rule under him, and establish it. Read on.
The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death.
Yeah, man, because we will be immortal. We will be immortal, man. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. Because the Most High created man to be immortal. So that's my So that's gonna be established under the rulership of the Lord Yahushua. Immortality. You see? Immortality, man. Okay, that was it. Now give me
Obadiah, Jeremiah.
give me Obadiah, because we was reading about how the 10 horns is gonna put fire on America. The 10 horns is gonna burn America with fire. Okay, England is gonna be ashamed of America. basically Europe is going to be against America. And if you really speak about the country of America over here in Holland, the higher ups, the politicians, they don't like America, man. Not in Holland, not in France, okay, not in Germany. They ain't fond of America, man. And even the people, these crackers, these Edomites that live over here, they ain't down with Esau, man. They ain't down with Esau. Slaka, they ain't down with America. They ain't down with America, man. They be like, they're strange people, man.
Did you watch the video from Elder Apostle Rama this week?
No.
He went into the same thing. The EU, Europe, everybody in Europe hates America. He found an article, that is circling around the elders and the brothers. So he was reading that, and the same thing that you say, like the Americans are hated around the world because America is dragging Europe constantly into their war,
Their
into
wars and their
shit.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I didn't see the video, but that's the spirit there. You see that I'm talking about it. Okay? These European countries, they are not down with America, man. There's a lot of fuckery going on, and when America, shows his teeth to other countries and invades them, they call their buddies, of the EU to come and help them.
Yeah.
If you watch these, it's funny because if you watch these videos of the trials of the Navy SEALs and stuff like that, the Rangers, they make it seem crazy on video, but it ain't even that hard because it's already said that the Dutch Marine Corps is way tougher than the American Navy SEALs. The sus is more crazy. The sus from England, they are fucked up, man. But then you have the Green Berets, the commandos from Holland. They are beyond, man. They are beyond. What up?
Nothing, not a thing.
I overheard that one of the trials is that you gotta survive.
The dark room?
No, like out in the world. One of these trials,
Yeah, I
you get a
told you
bunny.
that. You get a bunny.
Yeah.
You get a bunny, a potato, and a carrot. So they put you on this island, not the unknown island, but hoe noem je die plek ook gedaan?
Filipino of zo.
Nee, in Nederland. Bij
Oh, Texel en zo.
no man.
Verschillende?
Die rimboeta's waar je bevers hebt en zo.
Bij Overijssel.
Nee, girl.
Alpen.
No, if you drive towards the south, you have the
Biesbos.
Biesbos. Biesbos?
Oh, Zeeland.
The Biesbos, yeah. The Biesbos, which is like original rivers actually, where you have beavers and shit like that. And you're just being dropped. It's like a swamp. It's a swamp. Okay, the swamp region in Holland. Did you even know that was a swamp in Holland? Okay, that's a swamp. So you being dropped over there, and you don't know how long you have to stay there. That's the fucked up thing, right? If you know, okay, I have to stay there for 7 days, you're just gonna
Okay, day one. Okay,
Day
this is
one.
what I'm gonna eat for day one. I'm gonna
exactly.
eat that.
But if you don't know, it's fucked up. So they give you a bunny, one potato, and a carrot. And guess what? Nothing grows in the swamp. You know that, right? You can look where all you want, nothing grows there. So, people start to eat snails and shit like that. But now you have this beautiful rabbit that you start to like because you're all alone. You're solitary. You're a soldier, right? Solitary, you learn how to, be by yourself and stuff like that. So you have this bunny that you're playing around with. It's all docile. It chills with you. You have it. You sleep with it and stuff like that. But now you're getting hungry. Now you start to get hungry, right? So you be looking at the bunny like, yo, this is fucked up, man. You want to have food. You want to eat something. The potato is gone, long gone. So I heard stories that dudes killed the rabbit the day they got picked up.
Wow.
But it's fucked up because it's so nice. The rabbit is sweet, man. And then you kill it. You be like, fuck it, they gotta eat. That same day they pick you up with the boat. And they say, where's the rabbit? I just ate it. But yeah, that's not even that hard of a trial, man. We had to train with these motherfucking green berets, man. Man, you have the backpack, 55 kilos. They run with it as if they have nothing on their back. They run. You know, we used to run 10 kilometers and stuff like that, 12 kilometers with the bag. They just run in a circle. They just run in a circle. Then the commander says, okay, run the other way around. Okay, do push-ups with the bag. Okay, stand up. Just like that. And they are like, they have a switch. They don't feel nothing, man. They don't give a shit. Anyway, these men of war, when Yahushua pulls up, they're gonna be afraid, man. Even though they are such trained warriors, the thing that they are going to see is out of this world. So they're gonna be sore afraid. Give me that in second, Ezra.
Still want the Obadiah?
Yeah, read Obadiah.
Straight to the point.
Yes.
This is Obadiah in the 7th verse. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Yeah, what does the word confederacy mean? Allyship. So you have countries that are allies one to another. Okay? What does that mean? When Germany goes to war, Holland helps them. France helps them. When Israel goes to war, America helps them. That's allyship. You will never be left behind. Okay? You will be taken care of. You see? Confederacy.
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and have prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Yeah, so they that eat thy bread, export, import. Okay? America does import and export with these European countries. Okay? Confederacy, allyship, import, export. You made trading deals with each other. Those people that was good with America, these countries that used to be good with America, the EU are gonna lay down a wound under America and basically a part of the missiles is gonna come from the European countries, man. Read on.
There is none understanding in him.
Yeah, man. They have laid a wound under thee. There's none understanding in thee, because it says have brought thee to the border. I was thinking about this yesterday. With this series that I'm watching, they decided to set up a king for themselves. So there's a whole kingdom, and then there's a king, and then you have the northern part of the kingdom, and then you have lords there, right? If you are a lord, that doesn't mean you are a king, but you're like a governor, right? To rule your region. But now they decide to say, they tell the Lord, you're not a lord no more, now you're a king. But it's a region that you are taking care of. But that region belongs to the king. So I was actually thinking like, okay, so where are your borders gonna be now? You setting up borders for yourself, that's war, man. You see, that's war.
Needs to be brought the
Landmark. They put landmarks. That's why the scripture also says that you cannot remove the landmark. Okay? Don't remove the landmark. Meaning the point where it says, okay, you're crossing in the land of Benjamin now. Or you're going now to the land of Simeon. Because that's going to cause for strife. That's going to be war. War right there, man. You see? Everyone has been given his portion. Now when you move, when you bring another nation to the border, that's war, man. That's war right there. So that is what the European Union is gonna have with America, man, and they're gonna burn it with fire. Okay, so give me.
Still want something from Jeremiah, right?
Yeah. We're gonna go there. You do you have the second address? 15. It's not 50, no, it's 30. Second Ezra 30.
Point is verse 11.
Yeah, but we can just read from one. And what did I?
You want something in Jeremiah, either 50 or 51.
I was talking about something, then I said Jeremiah 51. No. What was it again? Yeah, I forgot what I wanted to. There's a lot of beautiful stuff.
Prepare the nations against her, call together her kingdom.
No, leave it. I forgot. I was talking about something and I wanted it from Jeremiah 51. But I don't know. I forgot. So give me the second Ezra.
13 and
13 and 1.
This second Ezra chapter 13 and verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Yeah, man. So this Yahweh Shai arriving on the fathership chariot, so-called UFO. Okay, when he pulls up, every eye shall see him, like the scripture says. Yahweh Shai is gonna come, and he's gonna take dominion. He's gonna take the rule and put everything under him. Go on.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
Yeah, the mouth of the chariot. It's talking about the mouth of the chariot. When the chariot shoots his fire, everyone is gonna be burnt up, man. That's gonna be like Independence Day. You know, when you saw that chariot in the sky, and then you start to see the light underneath the chariot, and then the big beam comes down. You know, you have this one scene that this whole building gets blown up.
Yeah.
Hey, that scene is dope.
The people were thinking like,
Can you
hey,
check it out?
we're gonna be saved or what?
Independence Day.
That's a beautiful color.
UFO
beautiful
destroys
green
building.
color. I'm like, hey, okay, we're gonna get out of here, going to different planets and shit. And then all
They
of a
ain't not
sudden,
gonna think that, because that's what we was talking about, right? That Esau implemented it in his mind.
Yeah. But in that movie back then, they
Defend
were,
us. The military needs to defend us because they are the enemy, according to them, right?
yeah.
But really, these is the angels of the Heavenly Father that come and deliver us from this wicked ass world, man. Those that believe in the Lord and His Father will be delivered, not by works, lest any man should boast, but by faith. Okay, you have it?
I'm checking it out. Is it like the one where party on top?
That would be great. I haven't seen it for a long time. Where's the chariot?
It's on.
Rooftop party is the title. Huh? Yeah. Oh yeah, this is it, yeah! Show it. But go a little bit back where you see them partying. Because they think they're gonna be delivered, okay?
Oh shit.
The mouth of the chariot is being opened, but not to receive them up, but to blow them away.
Let me put the resolution up a bit more.
It's cold as ice.
It's getting.
But we need the sacrifice.
Ooh.
Present thy bodies as a living sacrifice, right?
Musical tunes, right?
That's right. Okay. The people is like, wow, it's so beautiful. Whoa, what is going to happen? Oh, this is the chariot. Aliens is gonna take us. Wow. Because they don't, you see that they don't recognize the threat. Otherwise they would flee away. Now check this out. Now they know they fucked up. Now they realize like, That is not gonna beam us up, man. Boom! Done. Hey! Coño! Yeah, man. And it shall burn her with fire. Yo. So that's the judgment that is gonna come to America, man. Thermonuclear fire, but also the fire from the chariots of the Most High, man. So when it says everything got burned when he opened his mouth, that's what it's talking about, man. It's the chariot shooting fervent heat, extreme fire. You read on?
Verse, yeah. Like as the earth failed when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men.
That's the military men, okay? So I'm just sharing my experiences, you know, of the military, what I've seen and heard, you know. But these men, they will be gathered, man. You know, when I came into this truth, and I still know, you know, guys. Actually, this morning I spoke to a guy that I was, that I was with back then. But he left. He's not with them no more. But I still know guys that is still down, you know, with the military, Marine Corps and stuff like that. Hey, they're gonna be deployed, man. They're gonna be deployed. They're gonna be out there. Go ahead and fight the aliens. Go and fight the aliens. It's useless, man. Scriptures already say the war has already been the victor of the war has already been decided. Okay. Now, if you're in this truth and you're in the military, get out. Get the fuck up out of there, man. Okay, the military ain't a place for a so-called black man anyway. Fuck you doing there? Okay. There ain't no place for Jake, man. Okay, fighting the so-called white man's wars for what? Okay. The thing is, they make your life so hard and miserable that the only way into, you know, making some money is by joining the military. You see? You know, there's a few chances for Jake out there, and one of those chances is joining the military and making money and leave the hood, or becoming a professional athlete, NFL, NBA, MLB. Okay. UFC ain't shit, man. UFC. That's why. Did you see the recent news about Francis Ngannou? They want Francis Ngannou to fight John Jones, but Francis Ngannou said he canceled the deal because it wasn't enough money. And he said also that he stood up for I believe he stood up for the fighters, because I read the caption and it seemed like he stood up for the fighters, that they're supposed to get paid more. Here it is, the risk that the MMA fighters take stepping in the cage is far greater, far bigger than boxers do, man. You see? But boxers get paid in the millions. MMA fighters don't get paid in the millions, and it's all because of this covetous motherfucker, Dana White. Dana White, the Edomite. Dana White, the Edomite. You see? So Francis Ngannou, he's like, the hell out of here with that shit, man. You want me to fight? Because the thing is, Francis Ngannou, he knows his worth. He's like, no, man, you ain't gonna play me like that. You're gonna write the contract, you're gonna agree with my terms, and then we gonna do business together.
He could stand up, right?
He said, huh?
He could stand up, right? He's a good boxer, right?
His punch, he's not a good boxer. He's the hard hitter. He has the hardest hit.
He was the one back in the days in West Africa, right?
Yeah, he was digging in the ground or some shit. He was doing some shit. But he has the hardest hitting punch. It says that his punch is as hard as a Ford Escort hitting you with 130 miles per hour. That's how hard his punch is. That's the guy that ripped open his lip, busted up his whole lip. His whole face got busted up. Anyway, it's all slavery, man. Join the military, slavery. Okay? Professional sports, slavery. Music industry, slavery. Okay? They just want Jake to tap dance because they say that's what they're good at. When you watch this movie, Blood and Bone, that's what this rich Edomite says it. Okay? The Jake worked his way up and he said, I want to sit up there with y'all. And then the Edomites, he started laughing. He was like, you could never sit with us. You never were part of us. You know, the only reason we deal with you Negroes is because y'all have cat-like abilities, and y'all know how to tap dance. Y'all know how to keep us entertained, but you never a part of us. And then he starts to fight Michael J. White. He's busting up everyone, right, in the movie. Then he starts to fight him, and then Michael J. White, and he pulls the sword. And Michael J. White, he turns the blade and he chops his own hand off. You know the movie? Blood and Bone.
Michael Jordan cuts off his own head?
No, of the dude. But it's a good movie, man. You should watch it. But that's like entertainment shit. It's not spiritual at all. Good movie, actually, if I think about it, it's not a fucking good movie at all, man. But yeah, it's kind of dope to watch just to see him beat up people and shit like that. So-called beat ups.
This is Habakkuk 3, starting at verse 3. God came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. And his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power.
And there was the hiding of his power. Now, if you look up the word horns over there in the Hebrew, it says rays of light. Okay? Now, this is talking about the chariot. Is Yahushua gonna have power to shoot beams, rays of light? Yes, he surely has. Okay? We pray we're gonna have too, man. We pray that that's what was being manifested in the series Dragon Ball, man. What they do is they charge up a beam of light and then they shoot it out of their hands. Shoot key beams. But I want the small one. I want the small one of Broly. He does this. And then he has a small ball of energy. And then he throws it like this. But when it hits, hey, yo! Instead of creating the big ass beam, right? And then, okay, he blocks it. No, man, you don't want this small particle to hit your body because that's done.
Concentrated light.
Yeah, man. The concentration is higher, you know?
Reminds me of Men in Black with that itty bitty gun that Will Smith got.
And then he was like, what the fuck is this? Why I only get a small gun? And then that gun was fucking powerful, right? Yeah, man. So then let the warriors of Esau pull up then. They're gonna send Jake to the front line. Yo, go and fight these UFOs, man. You see Issachar, you see Ephraim, Judah, Benjamin, front line. Go ahead, check them out. They're gonna say squad 7, squad 8, and squad 11. Go. Only Jake's in there. You know, squad 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, with the Edomites, no. Stay back, stay behind. Let them go check out first. That's why when you see these movies wherein you know the battleground is full of I think it's called Wave 8 or something, or what is this other movie?
Fifth wave.
The fifth wave. Yeah, the fifth wave. And you have area 8 or something. Anyway, you see Jake have to go and check out the fucking war zone where you have these aliens doing all kinds of shit, man. Jake is being sent over there. Anyway, what Jake has to realize is that the chariots, you know, is full of angels, and the angels are our companions, man. The angels are our brothers. Didn't he, Elijah? Yeah, of course. After 2 hours. I understand you, bro.
This is 2 Kings, chapter 6.
Wil je ook thee? Koffie?
And verse 15.
En jij? Ook gember.
Ja.
Oké.
This is 2 Kings chapter 6 verse 15. And when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And the servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
You see that? So was it Elisha or
Elisha.
So Elisha said, "Don't worry, man. The military host was surrounding them. The military host was all over there." And then Elisha said, "Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." It's a video of this little kid. He said, "Don't worry about it." Because this girl asked him, "What is this?"
Little Jake?
Yeah, the little Jake.
Don't
That's
worry
that
about it,
splat.
sweetheart.
That's that splat.
Right.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. That's that splat. Anyway, Elisha was like, "Don't worry about it," because it seems that they are with many, but we are with more. So the servant of Elisha was like, "Huh? What is he talking about? We are with more."
On. Verse
Reading
7
on.
Verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
So think about this. They are standing on the hill. They're looking down. Elisha and his servant, and the military forces is pulling up. And then Elisha says, "Okay, look behind you." So they look at the top of the mountain peaks. Ooh, with chariots. Yo! Hey, yo, you're gonna feel confident then, man. I think, you finna run down the hill with your sword by yourself. You have nothing to worry about, man. The chariots do this. They zoom, zoom. You know when one little fire drops and then the whole field gets burned? Yo. Did I send you the clip of the master of Bleach? That he hits his sword, he says "Bankai,"
The point.
and then he hits his blade, and then you see the gap. Yo, man.
He did it with the point of his sword.
Yeah, man. Yo, I think two days ago, my woman, she was telling me a whole story, but I was on my phone. While she was talking, I was on my phone. Then I saw the part where Son Goku, he turned Ultra Instinct after the spirit bomb hit, right? And then he powers up. So I was watching it, she's talking, and then she stopped talking, and I didn't even notice she stopped talking. I was watching, and then I said, "Yo!" Meanwhile, I saw it many times, and she's looking at me like, why are you all about this type of powers? This is not fun, because that's what I want. I want to have these type of powers, man. I want to charge up. Lord willing, man, that's what's coming, man. That's what's coming. What did you have? Or read on in Ezra. Charge up, man.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Yeah, man, so a great multitude came to subdue the man that came out of the sea, they think that they is gonna, humble the Lord and fight him and conquer him. Nah, man, they ain't gonna happen. Go on.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not.
Yeah, so Ezra was like, it looks like he's flying on a mountain, a piece of a mountain, because it was the chariot, huge chariot. And he was like, huh? This looks like the summit of a mountain that he's flying upon. So he was like, huh? Where is this piece of rock cut out of? So he said, yeah, he couldn't see it, so he was like, yeah, okay. Go on.
And
Because it was the fathership. It was the chariot that Yahushua was riding upon.
It's like with that Independence Day also, it comes out of a cloud. So you see the peak kind of, but you don't see where it begins or where it ends. It's that big. But
And it's funny that when chariots pull up in these movies, they always come from the east. Because it starts in China. Even when you watch Doctor Strange. Even when you watch Doctor Strange, all Jake, huh?
Yeah.
Even when you watch Doctor Strange, this Dormammu is some kind of demon. He pulls up and he's gonna consume the earth, man. He just comes to consume everything. But it all starts in China, and then they go to China to block everything. So they always show you, and also Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four. The chariot covers the earth from the east. It comes from the east. And also in the Independence Day, you should pay attention to it. Okay, you always see the chariot coming from the east. That's why the scripture says, "Behold, he coming from the east," right? Oh, coming from Basra. Huh? Yeah, Afrika. The neck is fast.
this is Isaiah 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against them. So it says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west.
Why you read on? The standard?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna read it again?
Yeah, I'm reading it
read
again.
it again. It's like,
Oh yeah.
I thought you was reading on.
No.
Like you let that like the scripture that was just read was nothing.
No, I'm
Break
going
it
back
down.
to break it down.
Yeah, man. Read.
So Isaiah 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun.
Yep.
So where does the sun rise?
Sun rises in the east.
And what do they call China?
The land of the rising sun. Exactly.
So it goes on to say, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, meaning the enemy is going to compass the nation of Israel, especially the elect. They're going to come after the elect.
They're gonna come for the elect. Exactly. Like the flood. Just like when the woman was fleeing from the dragon, and the dragon ushered out the flood after her. But the earth helped the woman and swallowed up the flood, which is the flood represents the military forces of Esau, the Roman Empire, and the earth helped the woman, which was the force, the reign of Africa, that basically swallowed up those military forces. Man, they were not able to follow the Israelites into Africa. Okay, go on. So when the enemy cometh as a flood, the Most High is gonna raise up a standard against them. And that's exactly where you're gonna see the what is it, the 8th gate of God. Yo! But nobody gonna die, man. Hey. Yo, hey, show the clip real quick, man, of the one I sent of the fight against Madara.
mother.
Yo, man.
Mother that you shine, right?
Yeah, yeah,
the red
actually
eyes.
yes. Actually yes. Because actually you have Madara of Naruto Shippuden. He is gonna fight the allied nations. It's crazy actually that you talk about it because that's what we're reading right now. Yeah, let me show you. Okay, Madara, he is on the mountain. He is on the mountain. Oh, I didn't even think about it. He is on the top of the mountain looking down. And then this mummy dude, he says, I never see you fight. And then he says, okay, watch. And he goes down and he fights the allied nations, which is basically the NATO. He fights them alone. He
Isaiah
threaded the
63,
wine press
yeah.
alone. And then he's like watching everyone, boop, 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 beating everyone up. And his eyes were red. And then, you know what happened? Then he summoned a stone. No, he summoned like a meteor. That's Daniel chapter 2. Okay, the stone that is gonna hit on the bottom of the statue and break all these kingdoms.
I do the breakdown with scriptures.
Anyway, let me show you the power that I want.
We want to sound too?
Hey! Eats.
Breaks his bones.
He breaks his own bones because the force is too much. Yo, my man, I'll be sending this brother.
Moet je die bankai nog laten zien?
Give me the bankai also, man. I've been sending this brother. No, let me show it, man.
Oh,
It's my
shit.
shit.
Oh, shit.
Don't shine with my shit. Bankai. Eats.
That was it, right?
Yeah, let's do it again. Bankai.
Thick. Only a small touch on the ground and the whole earth splits. Yo. That's why, hey, I'm happy I watched all these things because, you have this movie Limitless, right? Limitless.
Remembers everything.
Yeah. So when he takes this pill in the movie Limitless, he takes the pill when he's about to get jacked up by people. They want to beat him up. But when he takes this pill, his brain capacity is being raised. So now he remembers all the fighting movies and instructionals that he ever seen. Lord willing, you know, when our brain capacity is being raised, when we have access to the tree of life, you know, those abilities are gonna be unlocked within us, elemental power, and all these type of things. When that is being unlocked, stamp the ground, boom, everything just shatters, man. You know? Yes, that's what I believe in. Yeah, man. That's all in the scriptures. Okay? So this man is gonna break it down.
Yeah.
Okay?
Isaiah 63. Let's
Isaiah 63, Isaiah 40, Isaiah 41. Okay? So y'all want tea? You want tea also? No? You want ginger tea? You want ginger tea? I'm a tanta. So I do
Isaiah 63.
I heard you. Then don't. Nah, I'm joking.
Charging.
Hey, so you hear that one?
Yo, this is Isaiah chapter 63 and verse 1.
Wait a second. Let's go to Matthew 13 with the harvest.
Oh,
we started with that. Bring that out. Because yeah, man, that time is approaching. It's fast approaching. You see the prophecies are popping up left and right. You know, I was looking for the scripture that Elder Apostle Tahar he pulled out in Exodus, that you know certain things have to come to pass so that the Most High's power can be seen. You know, it's not up to ourselves to take the matters into our own hands. You have to wait on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai when he sends Yahushai. No, not that one. There was a very specific instance when somebody wanted to do something, but then the Most High is like, no, because he wants them to be consumed by the plagues or by something like that. I was looking for it, but I can't find it. But everything goes according to the Most High's will, man. You know, he's letting these devils build up a case where they don't have a fighting chance. You see, they can't come and repopulate the earth again. No, man, the Most High wants that their iniquity and their wickedness should be that high that they have to be destroyed. And that's what he said that he's going to do after 1,000 years. So that's what's going to happen, man. Matthew 13, verse 37. You read this a couple of weeks back also. Yeah.
Matthew chapter 13 and verse 37. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
Gone. So it's Yahushai. He brought this truth back onto the earth. You know, that's when this seed was planted, and also he is planting the seeds in the minds of the people. You know, you have seeds that fall by the stony side, the wayside, or on fallow ground and on good soil. You know, so it's Yahushai that is actually distributing, and it's also the Most High that's watering, and that's bringing forth that the plant should grow. You see? Go ahead.
The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
Gone. So the good seed is the children of the kingdom. So the ones that do have this precious seed, that do have this truth in their mind, those are the children of the kingdom. Those are the ones that are going to inherit the kingdom. The elect, first and foremost, and then the innumerable multitude.
But the tares are the children of the wicked one.
Gone. So this scripture, read from, let me see, Matthew 13, verse 24. It talks about the wheat and the tares. So the wheat and the tares, they look alike, but they're not. You know, the wheat are the good ones, and the tares are the ones that look like the wheat, but are entangling the roots of the weeds, and they are basically choking the wheat out. And if you pull the tare out, you're also going to pull the wheat out, the good ones. So we cannot precisely say which Israelites that look like Israelites are Israelites. It might be a tare. You see, so that's why the Most High is going to send his angels, and they are through the Spirit, they know who that person is, and they are going to do the tearing, they are going to do the plucking, they are going to do the harvesting. You see?
And the tare is someone whose lineage goes back to Esau, man.
Yeah.
So in this day and age, you know, after slavery, you know, when Esau laid down with our females, you have children that were begotten back then, whose descendants are still upon this earth, that might look like, you know, so-called Negro man, a dark-skinned, you know, person, but his lineage goes back to an Edomite man.
Yeah. Get Isaiah 14.
Verse 39. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels.
God. So, like we were going into, there's a time for everything. There's a time for planting and a time for harvesting. So that time of harvesting is fast approaching, and that's the time of the end of the road, which is going to be the lake of fire, which is going to be the ICBM missiles. You see? The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. Go ahead.
As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world.
Like I was saying, the end of this world, the end of this age, this ruling age of Esau, where Esau's in his rulership, where Esau's in his heaven, the end thereof is going to be fire, you know. And like we are going into, you have Yahushua is going to come, the chariots are going to come, but Yahushua is going to be also in the midst of that fire doing damage. Can you give me that in Isaiah 14 and 23?
This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 23. Let me start at verse 22. For I will raise up against them, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant, and son and nephew, said the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, so Babylon, who's Babylon? Babylon the Great. We were speaking about Babylon the Great, this whole teaching. That's America, you know?
I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts.
Yeah, so the besom of destruction, what is that? That's these ICBM missiles. It's like when you look at the eruption, not the eruption, the drop of an intercontinental ballistic missile. Yeah, you see a whole wave sweeping across the land. And that's how the Most High is going to sweep America off the map. See, and if you go into that word besom, it goes back to besom in the Dutch, which is a broom. You see? So that's what's going to happen. You're going to have all these things happening simultaneously. America's going to be destroyed because why? They are doing exactly what Sodom and Gomorrah were doing. You know, that's what they're pushing right now. You want to watch a movie, you're going to see these LMNOP, you know, characters and stuff like that. They're pushing it on your children, forcing it down your throat. You know, those are one of the things that they're doing. Only one that you see openly.
You're still holding us captive.
Yeah.
Which actually talks about, you know, if you see a man that is basically, you know, stolen in the hand of someone, you know, he should be punished for that.
Yeah. That's why it's called the land of the thieves, you know. But it says it in Nahum 3 and 1, the land of the thieves, and also Zechariah 5. So yeah, man, these people, this nation has stolen Israelites and scatters them across the four corners of the earth. You know, they did the Most High's bidding, but the Most High is going to destroy them with that. You know, the Most High is letting them build up the case because the scripture says, like the brother said, if you be found in your hand, then you got to be put to death if you steal a man and you sell him. You see?
You want the second Peter that you referenced with Sodom and Gomorrah in that example?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is 2 Peter chapter 2, and starting in verse 5, and it says, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly.
And so Noah was prophesying, and he was the only one that made it. He and his family and his sons and the animals. You know, he was doing a righteous thing. He was warning the people because that's what the Most High does. He warns you before he comes with his judgment. You know, and in that time the judgment was water. Go ahead.
Verse 6, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly.
Yeah, man. So the Most High left an example for these people that go after the way of Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, hey, this is what's going to happen to you. You know, you have this documentary where you see that they find sulfur and it's still combustible. It's still potent. You see, and that's how. But nothing grows there, and that's exactly how America's going to be. Also, America's going to be desolate. You know, like we were going into.
Also, the precept in Amos, or the Most High not going to turn away the punishment of Esau.
Yeah.
This is Amos chapter 1 and verse 11. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword.
See, Edom, and who is Edom? If you go to the book of Genesis, also explains to you that Esau is Edom. And who was Esau's brother? Jacob. You know, so he was going after the descendants of Jacob. He went after the Israelites. You know, so the Most High is not gonna pardon him for that, for what he did, because he went after his brother with the sword. You know, that's why also in Ezekiel 35 and 5, you can grab that. It speaks on that he has this fury within himself.
35 and 5.
Yeah. You could go back to Isaiah 14. Yeah.
And did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and kept his wrath forever.
Oh, beautiful. That's the word that I was aiming for, perpetually. You know, because if you go into that word perpetual, it means to continual. You know, without stopping. And that's what he has. He has that hatred towards the descendants of his brother, which are the Jacob, the descendants of Jacob, which are the Israelites. Yeah, until this day. You can see it in their face. And you can feel it in your bones also, that they hate your guts. You know, and we also hate them for the things that, just the way he is, his mannerism. Sneaky. You know, behind your back. You know, doing like he's acting like he's your friend while he's not. You know, because if you go to these Ishmaelites, for example, they are very friendly. If you go to Japhetic people, also very friendly. You know, they also have their traits, of course, but they're not like Esau.
This is Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Yeah, man. So that's what's gonna happen to Esau. Esau, he has that perpetual hatred.
What is on the dog?
Done. No. Ezekiel 35, verse 5, it says the perpetual hatred that he has for his brother. That's the Most High, he's not going to let him have a free pass. Because he was also going after his brother with the sword. He didn't only sell him, he went after him to kill him. See? So since he wasn't afraid of blood, blood is going to pursue him. You know, the Most High is going to require that blood off his head.
Want to go back to Isaiah 14?
Yeah.
This Isaiah.
Verse 9.
This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up. My mouth, man. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
Yeah, man, like we were going into, you know, America, everybody hates America. If you go into this world, this word, the dead, it's Rapayam, which means the weak nations. So the weak nations also are gonna shoot missiles at America. They're also gonna hate her. You see? So that's what it means. Hell from beneath is made ready to meet you. They're gonna be brought low. They're gonna be put in a grave. They're not gonna have any rulership anymore. You see?
Verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
Yeah, so America, the most proudest nation, you know, when these yeah, I don't know, put the emphasis on the pride, you know. If you look at the presidents go all over the place speaking of great and boastful words, like it says in the book of Daniel. You know, they speak great things, but the Most High is against that. So now these other nations are going to look at this proud country, and they're going to be like, "Hey, are you now become weak like one of us?" Go ahead.
Verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
Yeah, man. So the pride of this country is going to be brought low. All these, America is not going to be the same like how it was in the 1970s, you know, 1920s.
America, the word pump goes into pride.
You see it now, you know, everything is circling down the drain. Their pride is diminishing. They don't have anything to be proud of. You see, and if you go into the worm underneath, the worm is spread underneath it. If you go a worm, what does a worm do? A worm consumes. A worm, destroys. You know, and that's what's physically going to happen to America. America's going to be destroyed. America's going to be brought low. America's going to be destroyed. It's going to be consumed. The Most High is making everything ready so that the consumption is going to be complete. You see? Go ahead.
12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Yeah, man. So if you go into that word Lucifer, it's Hayalal, which means morning star, which represents Venus also. Yeah, light bringer also. But the Pharaoh, the modern day Pharaoh is Esau. You know, and Esau is the light bringer. But also Pharaoh was seen as a sun god, the son of the sun. You know, so that's where this word Lucifer it basically comes from. It comes from the light bringer, light bearer, and who's the one that has the light right now? Back then it was the Pharaoh, but now it's Esau. It's Esau. Esau's going to be brought low. Esau's going to be made weak as these other nations because now he's strong, right? We were talking about his military might and his military armies. You know, he's the Romans. They are the Romans. They have these iron teeth. Which the iron teeth represents the army, the military army. But all of
Army is zeg maar landmacht.
Okay.
Army is landmacht, so and then navy is from the water, so you say military. That's everything. Because in Holland we say leger. So they say leger in English is army, but that's actually not the case. Leger is actually military. But I understand. If you take the cover off, it's gonna be cold and it's the cover fell down.
Yeah, it's so cold.
It fell on the ground. Humility. To stay calm.
This is verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sight of the north.
Yeah, man. So that's what he did. This cold man.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
So that's what this man does, man. The pride of this man, it raises up to the heavens, which also represents his rulership seat, his rulership status that he has. But he also sits on the stars of the Most High. And who are the stars of the Most High? If you go to Genesis 22 and 17, it explains to you that Joseph had this dream, and the Israelites are the stars, the 12 stars, 12 tribes of Israel. You know, so he sits upon them because his whole empire is built on the bones and the backs of the Israelites, man. James. Yeah.
This Genesis chapter 22 and verse 17, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies.
Oh God, this is speaking about the seed of Israel, the seed of Abraham, right? So they,
James 9:39.
Genesis.
Stars.
Yeah, I thought.
I think 39, 37, 38, around that region.
No, but you don't have to get it. So this is speaking about the seed of Abraham. You know, it would be as the stars of heaven. You know, so like we were going into, we are spread across the four corners of the earth. You have Benjamites in England, in America, in Suriname, all over the place. So all the 12 tribes are all over these other countries. You know, we are spread among the Gentiles. Philippines, Vietnam. You wanted to make a video about that. You know, we left our seed everywhere.
I think it did. Even Japan, yeah.
So we are as the stars of heaven.
Revelation 1:7.
Or 2 and 20, 2 and 27.
This is Revelation chapter 2, starting at verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
True power! True power!
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
Because Yahushua is going to receive everything. He's going to be the ruler. And he is going to, you know, make sure that everyone knows and understands who's the true heir of this universe, man. The true heir of everything that you see around you. And he's going to make it known unto the people that the very same breath wherewith you cussed out the servants, the prophets, was the breath that they created when they was the angels upon this earth, man. Creating the molecules, the air, the water, okay? The elements. That very same breath where you know, that you grasp when you want to utter your filthy ass words and your detestable words towards the servants, the prophets, you're gonna know. Then they shall know who are my prophets, right?
Chosen.
Who are my chosen, okay? The world doesn't know who you are because it doesn't know who the Most High is. But ye are the sons of the Most High. Then it shall be known, okay? When they shall see Him, you come together, you know, in the glory with Yahushua. Philippians 3, okay? So yeah, man, close it out.
So with that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth and the true well. Peace citations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word as sincerity and the truth. Shalom.
Shalom.